Are you curious what's new in the marketplace for Flight Simulator 2020 focused on aircraft and aircraft liveries? Then this is the video for you. Let's roll the intro and then let's look at the details. This week we've got 4 new items and only new, let's say, vehicles, right? So both a combination of aircrafts, but also, as you can see, a cruise liner. The first one is from Flight Sim Studio AG. It's the Boeing 727-200 Foxtrot, which means it's a freighter aircraft, right? So it's the 727, but then only, I would say, capable of handling, I would say, cargo. It has been integral to air freight operations worldwide up to the 1990s. So it's an older aircraft. It's not flying anymore as far as I figured out. What they've done is they really made this aircraft now fully functional in Flight Simulator 2020. It has detailed exterior with PBR textures, 3D lighting, winglets and several animations. It comes with 16 liveries, both from DHL and FedEx, which are the known ones, but also maybe the less known ones, at least I didn't know them, Aerosucre, Amajet and Kalita Charter and 4 more. Then in the cockpit, they added a lot of detail as well as an animated cargo cabin, right? So maybe they added some pictures about that. So let's have a look at that a little bit later on. And plenty of interactions like the checklist, the windows, the doors, which you can open and close. Then there is the electronic flight bag, also known as a clipboard, with interactive weight and balance menus, SimBrief import, so you can directly import your SimBrief flight plan in it, performance calculation, various aircraft options, and decent calculator. So it's also a calculator integrated in that EFB. It has been built based on some advice, right, for the flight dynamics by real 727 pilots and flight engineers, which should make it really cool and also should make it really realistic. Things which you can expect in this aircraft, comprehensive aircraft systems, but also full-featured flight engineering panel, and many custom logics like the electronic logic for the APU, GPU, and generator, including generator paralleling and sync lights system. It comes also with navigation systems, right? The custom simulated SIVA INS, the AP coupled, the GNS 530, and the working title ones, of course, the GNS XLS, FMC by FSS, AP coupled, and the PMS GTN 750 and TDS GTN XI. Some of them are separate products, so keep that in mind. You might need to buy them separately. Then the sound, of course, is amazingly, and there's also an easy entry menu, right? The crew manager with automatic checklist, flows and monitoring of the systems, like the fuel feed, the packs, the temperature, etc. And there's comprehensive online documentation with all the procedures, but also the performance charts and supplements. For example, SimBrief profile, GSX config, and demo livery. And this is how it looks like, right? So here you've got the crew manager, which is, say, kind of a mini electronic flight bag. And here you've got the electronic flight bag itself, right? With the view, the weight plans, but also other stuff which you can load. And this is the aircraft from the external view, right? The things which I always like to see is that usage, which makes it so more realistic. Also, I would say the livery has been, pretty cool, right? A lot of details, as you can see here. And the good thing is it comes with multiple liveries. Now going inside the cockpit, you can also see a lot of cool things like even a calculator, but also multiple systems and buttons which you can push and use during the use of the aircraft. This is likely the UPS livery. Then we've got the DHL livery, and here you can again see that, I would say, usage and all those details which are added to this aircraft. And that also clarifies the price of the aircraft, right? It's not, I would say, too expensive, but it's more expensive than the normal aircrafts, but you can see that you get a lot of details for it. Then the next one is the cruise liner. So by Rodrigo Moraes, right? And they're developing a lot of custom things, like I would say trucks, but also cars. And the next thing is the cruise liner. So the cruise liner comes with multiple liveries from, I would say, a known in this case, cruise liners like Cunard Queen, but also Costa, the Carnivals, the HMHS, the AIDA, the Stena Lines, the Viking Lines. And it comes with a lot of detail because if we scroll down, we can see the detail, right? So this is the outside of the cruise liner. And here you can see multiple ones. Stena line. So pretty nice, but also you can look from on the ship, right? So you can look at how it is on the ship itself. It's a little bit hard to say based on the pictures which they provided if it's really also, let's say, modeled internally. Also, let's say, I mean, in the cabin. But if we look here below, then you can see some things are modeled. But I'm really doubting if everything has been modeled. Right here you can see the cabin, but it isn't clear if you can push every button. But it still looks pretty cool. Now, if you prefer to stay with aircrafts, then there's also the E-Jet Series 170 E175 Early Access. Early Access in most cases means it's a beta version, it's not a complete version. So be careful with this because it could be that there are some issues with it. It's also developed by Flight Sim Studio AG, right? So they also say, hey, they continuously update, but they can't guarantee any entirely hassle-free experience. So they set the expectations for you. So it's a regional jet air travel and set the benchmark in performance, efficiency and comfort in a single SL segment, right? It's a smaller aircraft, but it's used for regional traveling a lot. It's for short to mid-range flights. It comes with 66 to 88 seats in single, dual or high density configuration. And what did they add? Well, as we already could expect a bit from them, they added a lot of things like the high quality PBR textures up to 8K, beautiful 3D models both from the cabin but also from the outside, hundreds of interactable buttons, advanced system simulations, and they're tuned flight systems done by real embedded pilots. So again, real embedded pilots, just like the previous one, and a replica of the Load 27 MCDU, including the SID-star entry, manual route planning, and performance calculation. So this really would say cool. So you can really perform all the steps which a normal pilot would also perform, but now within Flight Simulator 2020. Then there's also the individual autopilot, right, reflecting all the lateral modes and the custom vertical modes like FPA, FLCH, VS, and GS, and real-world liveries with crisp details using decals meshes, custom designed effects including smoke, heat, haze, icing, dust, and scratches, and there's also the 3D positional audio with realistic sound. And this is the aircraft, right? So you can see it comes with multiple liveries. It's not described which liveries it comes with, but several ones. You can see Delta Connection and some other ones. And if we look at the pictures below, we can also see the cabin itself, right? So the cabin itself, some more details, and this looks really promising. Unfortunately, no big pictures of these items, but based on this and based on the, I would say, reputation of Flight Sim AG, I would expect a pretty decent aircraft. Then we've got Flight FX. They released the P180. So the P180 is an innovative executive turboprop aircraft that stands out for its forward aerodynamic surface rear-mounted engines and redefined interior design. So what did they add? Right, they added a lot, of course, because you can fly up to 1,500 nautical miles at a, I would say, maximum ceiling of 41,000 feet. So they added advanced flight and engine modeling, right? The custom prop simulation, the pressurization, and even engine damage. So be careful with this because your engine can be damaged. Then true-to-book performance in takeoff, climb, and cruise with feedback from real pilots. The custom prop and steering control, right? So especially, I would say, they say that it's useful for taxi and takeoff steering modes, plus beta range controls for precise power management, ensuring excellent ground maneuverability and smooth handling in every phase of the flight. For beginners and pros, right? So you can either use it after you tried the Cessna 172, or maybe you're more advanced and you want to do some more things. There's an updated vertical aircraft management system, also known as the VAMS, including multi-directional mount for flexible tablet positioning or hiding, so you can move the EFB. There's inbuilt support for Navigraph, but also for OpenStreetMap, which makes flight planning easier. And there's immersive audio and noise management. In addition to that, there are realistic startup alerts, right? So if you do something wrong, you will be alerted. And there are these selectable cabin enhancements. So you can select optional items such as decorative pillows, meals, work accessoires, and other clutter elements. Selectable cargo enhancements, so besides the normal passengers, right, also known as the packs, you can also configure the cargo enhancements such as suitcases, ski equipment, and golf bags, depending on what you prefer to have. And this from the inside, right? So here we can see the aircraft. So this is the cockpit. It looks really detailed. And as you can see, you can even put your, I would say, Windows laptop on it. So this is the aircraft from the outside. Comes with multiple liveries. Those liveries are shown on the bottom. And also this, right? If you look at this, they paid a lot of, let's say, time and, say, probably effort on adding these kind of details inside the aircraft. The aircraft itself, right? Also the cabin looks pretty nice. Also this would say the seating for the pilots. You can see the covers over here. So likely it will also be compatible with Flight Simulator 2024, but that's a wild guess. And this is really, really cool, right? So a lot of details for this aircraft. And as I mentioned, it comes with multiple liveries, multiple colors, color combinations. So pretty cool. Yes, you see it correctly. I missed 2 aircraft. So let's look at them also. The first one is the Hampden, right? The Hampden, it comes with 7 Hampden variants, which are included in this package, which likely means 7 liveries. The good thing is that the aircraft is virtual reality ready, yoke latch unenabled, in-game checklist, sounds realistic, very detailed cockpit, and a working automatic controls like the altitude heading hold, but also the Lawrence instrument uses the DME nav, localizer, animated automatic leading edge slats, and a lot of other cool things like realistic crew figures, animated front and rear canopies, animated cowl flaps with rotary handle control in the cockpit, as well as the authentic flight model. The good thing is that it also comes with a manual, 28 pages, so not too long. And here you can see some of the screenshots, right? On the bottom you can see some of the liveries, but this is the aircraft. So it's a pretty nice one, also very detailed as you can see. A lot of instruments, but also it's a really for, I would say, things which were normal at that time. In addition to that, you can also see, I would say, the person managing the gun, right? Also the guns here. Likely they don't work because that was officially not allowed by Asobo and Microsoft. Although there were some rumors that they were going to change it in the future. But here you can see the things. You can open the canopy, right? Which means that you can open this one. Also likely this one. And you can see that the usage is pretty cool. Because also, I'd say the usage over here and over here, you can see that the aircraft is being used. As mentioned, it comes with multiple liveries, which we can see at the bottom. So pretty nice. Besides that, they also released the Stirling. The short Stirling was the RAF's first operational 4-engine bomber on Second World War, and today it was reputed as an advanced and formidable aircraft. So if we scroll down, we can see a lot of details about the aircraft, but if we're looking further, we can also see the details about this, right? So here again, you can see the usage, you can see the details on the aircraft. It comes with in total 4 liveries, not too many, but still good to know. And this is how it looks like from the bottom, right? So you can see those bombs, but as mentioned already with the previous one, you can't use them, which is what they, or you might find it's a pity, but hey, that's the case. This is the interior of the aircraft, right? A lot of details. Also, a lot of nice instruments which you can use, which makes it more realistic. And even if you want to plan where you want to fly to, you can do that because there's a spot for you at the back of the aircraft. So 2 new aircrafts in the military section from the same developer, Virtavia. And I do think that based on what I see, it contains a lot of details. How they really are, I can't tell you, so let me know if you bought one of them. And that's where we end this video, where we looked at 6 items, a little bit more extensive than normally, but they were so cool, I thought they deserve a lot more time. Hope you liked it. If you're looking more for videos about new airports or airport enhancements, or maybe a little bit more missions, then have a look at the description of this video, because there are links to those videos as well. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you back next week.